Well, on this week's edition of Very Windy Car Reviews, we have the 1991 Ford Aerostar. It's back, and they recently put a new transmission in it. So I figured I'd do a follow-up video on it. So here it is. It's in pretty good shape for the age. I was told it has 51,000 original miles. I got some nostalgia with these because my mom had one for a little while. Hers was tan and brown. But one of these was the very first car I ever drove. And I feel like this is honestly going to be a nostalgia trip. But anyway, figured we'd start it up, take a little tour of it, and all that. I don't remember if Ford is like GM or not. Okay, squares for the locks. Okay, so try not to hit the Explorer. Here's the interior. It's tan, cloth interior. That's in really good shape, actually. I'm not sure if those leather seats are original or if it was added in at some point, but it's in the same color and in the same condition, so I would assume it is. It's got my favorite Ford steering wheel. It says 52,000. So I gotta figure out. Well, this is a throwback. I think the one we had was the Eddie Bauer trim. So it had power windows with the blue and red power window switches on it. And the one we had digital gauges. But it was the same color interior. It has this aftermarket Sony radio, which I don't know how you turn it on. Or if it even comes on, I don't know. It's got your heating controls up here. I miss the days when cars had levers like that. You got your ashtray with some goodies in it. Automatic transmissions. Some of these had manuals, but those are pretty rare from what I've gathered. Sometime later on they put the automatic trans up here instead of down here. But this is probably the same transmission that you'd see in like a Ranger or something. Yeah, the brakes are kind of sketchy on it, but I don't want it rolling away. Oh yeah, I believe this is a V6 model. Door handles in there like that. You pop the hood. Dome light panel. Oh, that's right here. Oh, your wiper works. Front wipers work. Yeah, let's take a look around it. That's kind of loose. This thing's been sitting for at least 10 years. They recently put a new transmission into it. So, you know. I'll let pop that. Well, the back wiper's wiping still. Oops. I'll turn that off. Might be one of those things where you gotta beat on it to get it to open. I think it popped. There we go. It's buried deep in there, but there is a 3-liter Vulcan V6 under the hood. Got your Motorcraft Climate Master fan. Super Start battery from 2022. Ford Motor Company. Yeah, there ain't much to see under there because it's kind of buried deep inside. This was basically Ford's attempt at a minivan. And what they did was they took, I think what they basically did, they took a Ford Ranger, not like that, but the older ones, and they made a minivan out of it, which is kind of funny because Ford was the original people that started the minivan when Lee Iacocca was there at Ford. But when Lee Iacocca left because mismanagement at Ford, Lee Iacocca took the minivan idea and sold it to Chrysler. And then Chrysler later became the pioneer in the minivan, and both Chevy and Ford had to play catch up. And this was Ford's attempt at this. This is a rear-wheel drive minivan. Not something you see. Both the Aerostar and the Astrovan / GMC Safari were both rear-wheel drive and had V6s. I believe there was bigger V6s you could get with this, but I don't remember. The typical Ford power steering pump. Where is the hazard switch? Oh, it's down here. How does this work? I don't know. Yeah. So that's the story of the Ford Aerostar. Even sounds like the one we had. Although ours had a missing exhaust system. So it was a lot louder than this one. I don't think it has power locks. So we might not be able to get back here, but I'm going to try to. Actually, you know what? It's just easier to go this way. Now, if you want a real nostalgia trip, although ours had the like headrests and different style seats, but this is pretty much what I used to ride in when I was a kid. Well, my mom had one of these. And I remember her sitting in that front seat driving it. Not this specific seat, but we had a Aerostar. And what I always really liked about the Aerostar vans when I was a kid was these big windows you could open up like this. I always thought those were really cool. And you had your like different volume control settings here. I think that's what this is. You have 2 headphone ports where you could listen to the music on the radio. But yeah. There would be a 3rd seat, but it looks like it's missing. Looks like there's the back hatch. This would be a cool vehicle to have, honestly. Let's go out the door here. And that's your sliding door area. This van definitely needs a little bit of work, but it could be a very nice van. I mean, honestly, if I had more money, I would buy it. Just for a nostalgia trip. Because this brings me back to my childhood. Hatch struts work. The moths come out of it. Yeah, it's a pretty cool van. Slider rolls really well. It's a pretty cool vehicle. I'd love to have this. Or at least find someone that I know that to get it, because I would really love to have this around in my life. And the first vehicle I ever drove was one of these. So they kind of hold a soft spot for me. I do believe it needs brake work because obviously it needs tires, but it needs some brake work because that pedal goes all the way to the floor and it does nothing. Like, it does not grasp at all. You go all the way to the floor with it, it does nothing. Oh yeah. I don't think the radio works. What's in here? We got what's left of your Ford warranty information. I don't think it has the owner's book. I don't see it in there if it is. This does not have the slide out like the Caravans do. But yeah. So there's that. Oh, it's one of those weird Ford. How the heck do you do this? And then oh, you gotta use both your hands to do this, so we'll just leave it in here for the moment. But there you go. There's the full tour of the '91 Aerostar. Finally up and running after, I don't know, 10 years or so. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.